first match here, Entity7 versus Alpha7. Later we have Infinity versus DreamX, and then we have the loser from this match versus the winner from the other match. So man, this is gonna be very, very insane today.
Yes, it's gonna be so much fun for sure. Here we're gonna go ahead and start out the draft, and we are going ahead and banning out the Hilda again. Starting out, there's so much that we do not know what they're gonna end up choosing. And Zushin's gonna be Freya. It's gonna be the next one. I think they both have used Baxia, so I think that's out of the question for bans. So oh, Suyu will be their next ban here.
Yeah, Freya, yeah, there's a reason you call it about Freya there. I feel like Zushin's getting the Freya treatment right now. So she's going to be off of there. So, I mean, it's very actually kind of curious as to what exactly is left, especially I feel like one of the big problems with the meta right now, if you want to call it a problem, is I feel like marksmen have really kind of been ironed down to this really tight-knit group of marksmen that are viable to really be picked up. Unless you go with like a double fighter composition, which isn't completely, I feel like, off the table for a lot of teams, especially teams as skilled as Entity and Alpha7 here when it comes to that lane. When we go for priority, Phoveus still out there for the side of Entity7. Haven't really picked it up. It's not something that they usually prioritize or that they need to prioritize, because it's not like Alpha7 is going to be able to steal it away from them since they've already used it. But I want to say, if there's ever a time to pull out a Phoveus, probably now would be it. To kind of because he's got a great winning record too. He does a lot. He just really has a great presence for your team to really offset a lot of the dashy heroes that are out there as well. But we start off and prioritize with a Cho pickup.
Yeah, so
okay.
not only not only like take this show, but avoiding taking a show from Paquito, not taking out show from Paquito, a very like a very good hero that Paquito likes to play, you know. And even though now that Alpha7 is not allowed to use, I'm looking out, I'm trying to find, yes, Alpha7 is not allowed to use Phoveus, so maybe they're not worried about that and not being banned on this first phase here. So maybe there was like the other, like the 2-3 choice coming out from Entity7, we can see Phoveus on their composition. But now we'll see, waiting for Alpha7. Man, so many great heroes here. So what's left? Rafaela?
No.
Nana? Angela? No, Marcel
There's
and
still
Fred.
a lot.
Got 'em lined
Yeah.
up in my
Seems like there's still a lot out there. They still got Leo out there, Marcel, they just picked out Bridger, and there's that Kimmy. All right, so maybe there are some things that we forgot.
Well, when it comes to it too, I want to say, like, Marcel and Fredrin immediately came out. Then Leomord and Kimmy immediately came out. They didn't even think about it. They just immediately picked these up like it was part of their plan the entire time. Now, Alpha7 finally slowed down, looking for that secondary pick. I'm wondering where you go from here. Yeah, they're going to go pick up the Sora here. But do we have something to kind of meld out with the Marcel? And then on the side of Entity7, do we possibly have like a burst? We're not going to be able to burst it out from the mid lane because we've already chosen the Kimmy out there. So I mean, I guess we're assuming that we get away with the dragon and then couple that with the Phantom Steed coming out from Leomord.
You'll double horse it, then get a Hylos in there.
Well, but that's assuming Cho would be in the XP lane, which I don't know how much he shines in the XP lane. I feel like he does really well as that super tanky roam from the side when it comes to Entity7 here right now. Ooh.
At this point, we don't know because they chose a marksman in
crowned by heaven's mandate
for the XP lanes.
My legacy shall endure.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But now here, like, looking for Zetian getting banned from Entity7, we're not allowed to see Phoveus on Entity7's composition, at least on this last game so far on this match. All right, so for Entity7, lacking is still here for XP lane and the gold lane probably, because we're assuming like Kimi is heading on mid lane here for Alpha7. A mid lane also and the gold lane. So let's see a carry here. The last ban coming out from Entity7. Man, what's left here in the gold lane? Maybe we have to think about the Beatrix 1-1, Editel, and maybe for Alpha7.
Well, the difference. Yeah, the difference here right now, especially from that the first Marcel pickup by Entity7, is Marcel was kind of out there alone, and they had kind of paired that up against a Tsunami Slam from coming up from the opposite side. Here you've got another tanky frontliner with the Fredrin, so it's not just going to be Marcel being you're not going to be able to just shut down that immediate poke that comes out from Marcel with the fear of Cho being able to kind of pick it off, because Fredrin's going to be able to get in there, Sora is going to be able to get in there. Lilia here, yeah, against the Leomord, yes, but I feel like the other picks here are a little too mobile for Lilia to pick out, unless you're talking about the energy eruption that comes from Fredrin to get that aggro onto everybody and drag them together. But that's going to provide you 1-2 seconds max, a few glooms that you'll be able to get off with Lily, not really a huge amount to really maximize on her damage.
Imaginary world.
Yes, for sure. All of them are way too mobile here on the side of Entity7 for Lilia to catch, so she would have to rely on everybody on the team to kind of give her that CC to help her put in those bursts of damage. They went ahead and picked up that 1-1 and the CC on the side of Entity7. Now we're just waiting on who they will choose for their gold laner on the Alpha7 side.
Yeah, so 1-1 here, so as the last choice coming out from Entity7. Maybe with her ultimate here, like getting being vulnerable versus Sora's ultimate here, for example, or Operations Wrath. That could be a good response coming out from Entity7. And with CC in XP lane, causing this damage here, like with a very interesting sustainability. So now we're seeing here which one is heading on the gold lane. Claude.
There you go.
I forgot Claude here completely for Alpha7. Oh my goodness.
Yes, we totally forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Claude's usefulness will depend on how well Vagian can play on this Cho, because he's going to be able to kind of get that way of the dragon onto the back line if he's able to kind of target it down and have those quick reactions. Very interesting compositions coming out from both of these guys, but ladies and gentlemen, this is game 5. Alpha7 have managed to take it to the extreme here against Entity7, not trying to be dropped to the lower bracket are either of these teams.
Yeah, so it all comes to the final game here, Entity7 versus Alpha7, and taking this time here to say hello for the people in the chat. Hello to you, GM Hunter, Pinoy. Hello to Figus, Ted, Deadpool. Hello to Pinoy here once again. So everybody, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your audience here. So let's go, everybody. Welcome once again to the Land of Dawn. This is the game number 5. Entity7 versus Alpha7. The winner is heading to the final of the MCT AMER South. The loser is heading for the lower bracket private.
Yeah, right now, both these teams have managed to take this to the full best of 5 here in the upper bracket here. Like as I've called them before, the two titans of the South right now, and showing exactly why. Now, a little bit of damage coming out from Paquito, trying to slow down the invade coming out from the side of Entity7. Hesu on the backside too as well. Flick going to go ahead, try to drag out that minion. It is not going to be enough too. Hide on bush Marsh going to go ahead and grab himself up a secondary one. Ooh, the damage onto Paquito on the backside on that Marcel. They're not even going to give him the orange buff here as well. They're going full start ahead here. Flick in trouble, very low. Is that going to be enough? Down goes Vagin, but also the orange buff is going to go over to the side of Entity7.
Yeah, so much time like Entity7 dominating here the jungler, causing this trouble on Alpha7, but the first kill here waiting for Frost Laneve versus Vagin. An interesting one from Lilia and to get this early game is stronger and stronger for Alpha7. But even though we've seen how Entity7 is going to play this last game, oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, Vagin does find a little bit of a jump there on a tough Flick, but man, they are really trying to turn down the tempo of Alpha7, refusing as much farm as they can to Flick right now. So he's not even going to have his ultimate for this first turtle. He's going to go ahead and try to pick up this minion, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Paquito going to go ahead, try to get in there, try to get that vision, but there's no contention coming out from the side of Alpha7 for this first turtle.
Yeah, first turtle here like easily for Entity7 with no fight back coming out from Alpha7. While Flick here like is trying to reach the level number 4, getting on the purple buff. Oh, like the jungler of Alpha7 like just let it be. Oh,
Akashi! Oh, so low! Is that gonna be enough? Hide on bush goes in. Hesu flickers away, so they're not even able to return the favor. But I'm on, man, Akashi really threaded the needle on that, trying to get away.
Oh my goodness, Akashi here like a cold blood man on the XP lane, which was not eliminated, and Hassel almost was taken down by a hide on bush. But to his luck, it wasn't enough here to be chased down by the jungler of Entity7. Once again, on the bottom lane here, oops, now Batizi. Ooh. Using the Dexter hologram here to getting this reposition, while Doom with the last off at the half HP here, so he has to take care.
Yeah, now started to even out that gold, and depending on where the gold is right now, I feel like Entity7 have lost that little bit of advance that they had in the early game. Doom might be in a little bit of trouble here. Paquito goes in there. Out comes the Phantom Steed trying to take out Paquito. Golden Hour is down. Vagin has been frozen inside of it, but you see that Shin right there to provide that suppressive firepower onto the side of Alpha7.
Yeah, meanwhile, here the people on the chat like, Jorgon or Horgon, what about me, man? Oh, say hello to you guys. Roro Noah Zoro as well here, Eclipse, everybody on the chat, so thank you once again for your support. But now here, 4 minutes and 17 seconds so far. As we're seeing now the turtle cam on the second one, both teams are aware about this goal, and the dance is started.
Yeah, Flick comes into the mid here. Paquito from the side. Phantom Steed is out as well. In comes Hesu trying to put on the damage. Away of the Dragon immediately comes out there. Is it enough? Hide on bush. Finds himself a turtle. Flick in trouble. Gets take of Hesu. Finds himself a kill. Shin able to find a kill on the Flick. A double for Shin coming out. A triple for Shin coming out as Upatizi with the blazing duet. Not able to do enough damage. Shin, the highlight reel showing for him as Entity7 able to dominate that team fight.
Oh my goodness, the second turtle here for Entity7 plus 2 more. Actually, it was a triple kill for Shin here with this Kimi. Now leading this a chance for Entity7 to take down the tower number 1 here on the top side. Here we go.
Oh, might have overstayed their welcome, and down goes Vagin, down goes Akashi and Shin. They weren't able to take down the tower fast enough. Alpha7 make a beeline for it and find 3 kills of their own.
What the heck happened here? I only counted 3 players down on the top side, but it appeared 4 players down from Entity7 on the screen. But now Alpha7 leading and taking down the tower on the mid and the top lane probably here. My goodness, what a match. This is totally craziness here with so many plot twists coming out from both teams, my friends private.
Entity7 on their back foot again, 3-6 right now against Alpha7. Not too much when it comes to a gold lead, but you could see the pressure mounting up at top as they're trying to take down both of those towers. It is already down for the side of Alpha7. Entity7 looking to try to put the finishing touches there as well.
Yeah, so here, oops, immobilized here now again. Paquito, Vagin has Stacy down. Oh,
ooh, back in, going in with that Jeet Kune Do. Doesn't find the target that he wants just yet. We do have a little bit of a later scaling composition coming from the side of Entity7, though. Oh, back in, looking, trying not to get frozen up here. Does find the jump out as well. Turtle still about 50% onto the back line. You can see Upatizi with that blazing duet is going to be able to BMI his way out to safety. Golden Hour has been activated as Flick finds a kill onto Akashi. Hide on bush. Very low, gets taken out by Hesu. The rest of Entity7 is gonna have to look for a disengage from that fight. 2 down for the side of Entity7, and Alpha7 gonna be able to pick up that turtle.
Wind Talker on Doom's hands now, but once again, Alpha7 with a very good team fight composition. 2 more kills. The turtle winning for Alpha7 team. Oh man, goal lead here now, leading for a 2K for Alpha7. Things, okay, we are talking about like composition coming out from Entity7 with this scale, especially coming out from Doom, for example, and Shin and Akashi, but they have to take care because Alpha7 is on fire.
Yeah, not just that. You can start seeing the roams is starting to scale very heavily towards Paquito on this Marcel as well. Still pretty even for both sides, but the macro starting to mount for the side of Alpha7. This is just a side we don't usually see from Entity7, where it's so close, but the enemy team is really starting to out macro you here. Maybe a little bit of frustration starting to show from Entity7, or just that Alpha7 seems to have found the recipe that they need for success here. As it gets later and later, I feel like maybe this Wanwan's going to start coming online. It'll do a little bit better to be able to get a lot of those crossbow tanks, a lot of that damage off as well. But only time will tell. Now you see Vagin going ahead, putting the damage on the Upatizi, who was trying to blast out on tier 2 tower. Frost Lane Eve able to find the kill onto Shin, bringing their lead to a 9-3 lead so far against Entity7.
Yeah, once again here, Shin being picked off on the mid lane, as we were talking about from the last game here, like Shin being like not so common, not so usual to Shin to be picked off here, but it was once again letting one more kill for Alpha7. They would be able to take down the tower number 2 on the top side. As you said, when it comes to macro gaming here, Alpha7 is leading the pace, is leading this situation. Now, the first Lord is started by Alpha7, but here comes Entity7.
Ooh, Shin's ultimate goes wide there. Back in on the backside alone. Why don't I even know what he was thinking there, trying to go in. Now you have the Phantom Steed coming out. Big fight on the side. Hesu with the flank. Upatizi finds a kill onto Hide on Bush. That's going to be the retribution down for the side of Entity7. Alpha7 maybe looking for a way back in. Shin being very greedy on the backside. Paquito taking a lot of damage there as they continue to put that boots on to the Lord. Shin at the front row here is not afraid of these 4 members coming out from the side. You can see Doom and Paquito fighting it out. Out comes the Golden Hour. Now they're going to look for a damage on the Doom, looking for that crossbow attack, but gets taken out by Frost Lane Eve.
Yeah, so one more kill here for Alpha7. Entity7 lost the Lord, and now he is heading on the top side. Oh my goodness, what we are seeing here, a possible reverse sweep coming up from the Brazilian team, Private.
Oh yeah, and that's going to be the most amazing thing here. Have Alpha7 finally found the recipe for success against their biggest nemesis here in the south. It has been all Entity7 leading up to this point in the playoffs. Out comes the Phantom Steed. Akashi leading the front line, trying to put down Upatizi. Has the blazing duet. Frost Lane finds a kill onto Akashi. In comes Hesu. Shin has to find the disengage and know where to protect this mid tier 2 tower as pressure mounting at the mid. Lord up at top.
Lord heading on the top side here. Oh, used by the golden hour from Alpha7. Here goes.
Yeah, you see the damage coming out there. Black Shoes coming out. That might be it for Frostlane Eve. Hide on Bush. Going to go ahead and get the final punch in there as well. Ooh, look at all the items coming in on for the side of Alpha7. 4-12 right now. A 4K gold lead for Alpha7. And just like they've been learning, have a great job of mounting pressure and trying to close this out early.
Alpha7, you gotta learn this lesson. You gotta learn your lessons coming up, especially from the first game. So here now the situation is super minions on the bottom lane here, no high ground towers on that side, and now both teams are like worried about like this minion waves situations, especially coming out from Entity7 because they need this wave to farm and to get those items. As we're seeing like Demon Hunter, Wind Talker, and Corrosion Side coming out from 1-1 here. Oh!
Akashi gets caught. Alpha7 with the big drop, able to turn it around. Hesu able to use the shifting skies to push Akashi back underneath the tower, and then Flick followed it up with the Appraiser's Wrath, and that would be an XP laner down for the side of Entity7. Mistake after mistake. Alpha7 is right there to capitalize.
Yeah, so once again here, one more kill for Alpha7. Kill by kill. Oops, Paquito. Okay, is Marcel here trying to stack his buff and control anyone lost in the jump on the side. But once again, Alpha7 causing distraction. Here we go.
Oh, back in, getting slowed down there as well. Lord coming up on the side, and Alpha7 immediately closing ranks to go ahead and deal with it. Only 2 high ground towers for the side of Entity7, and you see minions coming down at the bottom as well. Will they have to deal with that in a moment? Do they have time, or is there a timer on this fight? Look at already back in, down to 50%. Big pop-up lands on the Flick. Lord down to about 30%. Now they're going to go ahead and engage on the Entity7. Out comes the golden hour, followed up by the Phantom Steed. Look at the damage going on to Upatizi on the backside. Hesu able to find a kill onto onto Vagin. Is that going to be enough? Doom able to answer back with the kill onto Hesu, and Entity7 on the back foot. Look at Paquito roaming in there, trying to put the damage on. Is that going to be enough? Shin on the backside, looking for an escape. They have to disengage. They're so low, and this is going to be a perfect opportunity for Alpha7 to pick up this Lord.
One player down by both teams here, but Alpha7 decide not to take this Lord. Okay, Upatizi is starting this once again, but getting the full reset. Okay, they decided not to focus on this go and maybe trying to bait or trying to fix something on the rest of the map here on the Lane of Dawn. Once again, Winds of Nature coming out from for Claude. Malefic Gun for a 1-1 here. The Lord, here we go.
Oh, a golden hour freezes the Lord. Are they going to be able to get this one out there? Hide on Bush finds himself a Lord for Entity7, but Alpha7 able to answer back. Frostlane Eve, 2 down, 3 down for Entity7. Shin has to find a way back home. Akashi is getting caught by Alpha7. There is only 1 left to defend against this push from Alpha7. Is Entity7 going to be able to? Shin going to try his best to clear out these minions. Can he do it? Or have Alpha7 finally defeated their nemesis in Entity7, who have dropped down to the lower bracket?
Alpha7 here making Entity7 bleed, and more important, leading to the finals of MCT AMER South. Zena.
Man. Hey, it was, all I gotta say is well deserved, because they were doing an amazing job even from the start. Even though they did get those losses, they figured it out and did that reverse sweep, right? They took him out there at the end, and wow, Alpha7, this
Yeah, after game 2, I would love to know what kind of Captain America speech Darkness was giving to the team there, but that was a completely different Alpha7. It was a completely different at the start of this series to see how well the drafting was going for the side of Alpha7, but then to see how well they were able to adjust after those first 2 games to close up those tiny little gaps, those tiny little cracks in their armor, patch that up and come back so successfully here to be able to get a sweep onto Entity7, who have been the Titans, the monsters here of the AMER South, and now to see them dropped down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, and once again here, like we're seeing Alpha7 making a better use for Marcel once again with that composition with Paquito with 89% here of team participation, and Frost Lanevi here with Libya 94%, and with the KDA 819 here. I have a feeling we're just gonna be the MVP on this game, but I don't want to be early or something like that. But as we're seeing here in the highlights, at least like on the early game, see Akashi here like a cold blood person here, and now has to almost been taken out on the sequence. But now see in the early game a very tight up from both teams here. Like I think that it was because it was the last game on the final upper bracket final here, but step by step, little by little, Alpha7 was like getting this pickoffs, was getting this little advantages here, you know, and not taking too many risks to deliver this advantage back to Entity7. So a pick off here, like a little advantage. What are we going to do, boys? Okay, taking down the tower. What are we do now, boys? Okay, taking out this the turtle, or take down this lord here. So we could see on this game that step by step Alpha7 was like taking these little advantage and punishing Entity7 on these situations when it comes to the lore, when it comes to the objectives, and especially on the map, the macro game here for Alpha7 at the time. As we saw like in the last team fight, Alpha7 with a very good team fight, like leading one player from Entity7, but still they decided not to head on the Lord. They decided to wait for the rest of the Entity7 to come and bait that situation to get the final team fight here, like letting everybody down from Entity7 and get this victory for them. As Zina said, well deserved from Alpha7, because honestly, if we like see in a cold way, even from the first game, Alpha7 was dominating so far, the beginning of the game, but still Entity7 was able to reverse that. But now Alpha7 got the victory.
Yep, they did, and here we have it. The mechanics were sharp, the decisions were flawless, and the impact was undeniable. Paquito on the Marcel, 2114 KDA, 31.5k total damage, 578 gold per minute. Wonderful job there. Just flawless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else can be said here about this team. The growth that they've gone through here, especially in this last series, Entity7 has been undefeated. To find Alpha7 be able to keep it on their toes. I mean, I don't think anybody had this as an Alpha7 coming up. Coming ahead. I think I had it at like about a 1-3 here with Entity7 over them, but the differences that they've made here, especially like we said, the little changes that they understood, not using the Marcel by himself, having something else to back him up there with the Fredrin out there, and especially not having the threat of the Kalea or the Tsunami Slam to really be able to isolate you out there. So a great job coming out from the side of Alpha7, who have now guaranteed themselves a shot in the I want to say the South